It's fun time.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name's Ben Manna. This is my boy, Danny Kaz.
How you doing?
A few weeks ago, we sat down. We both live here in Astoria, Queens. We sat down and we're like, what can we do in our spare time? We both get home from work, not too late. I get home 7, 8 o'clock. He gets home a little later. And we were like, hey, what could we do to make the most of our time and really feel like we're contributing to,
ourselves.
Ourselves, the community, and just, at the end of the day, feeling more rewarded in what we're doing. Him and I have been friends for a long, long time. We were freshmen in college together. We'll get into that all that stuff a little later. But we decided, screw it. We listen to a lot of podcasts on multiple different topics. So we're like, hey, let's just start our own. We've been best friends for 5-6 years now. We have very similar interests. We both, are all about that hustle, the mentality of just being successful overall.
Making a lot of money.
Which is, at the end of the day, what all New Yorkers are about. We're both born and raised in New York. Danny from Queens his entire life. I'm actually born and raised upstate. Moved down here middle of August. So was that 3 months ago?
Yeah.
So we decided to sit down, start this podcast. It's our very first episode. We plan on having many more. A lot of guests come through. A lot of our boys that we've known for a long time that we're close with that have our similar interests and similar mentalities.
Couple celebrities.
Yeah, one day, couple celebs. And also just anyone in the community that is interested in getting their their voices heard about the hustle that they put in on a daily basis. That's what New York's all about. That's a New York state of mind, which is where exactly we got the title for this podcast. Just how we think and how we live a daily basis. That's a New York state of mind. That's the hustle. That's the grind to be successful. Everyone wants to be successful. Not everyone wants to put the work in. So that's what it is. Grinding every day.
To anybody that's listening right now, lots of love to you. Thank you for taking the time to hear us out. Hopefully we can take our similarities, bring it together, and just talk about amazing things that are happening in our city and around the country.
Things that inspire us. Things that inspire anyone with a similar mindset that we have.
We're sitting here in our bar right now.
Yeah.
Something we put together. We enjoy a lot of our weekends here. We have a full stock bar at all times. And
boys pull up, drink all of our freaking liquor. We're down to the last couple bottles we got here. So we moved in here was September 1st, right? September 1st.
Right before Labor Day.
Yeah. We had a housewarming party. Everyone brought us a bottle. We had a couple bottles beforehand. Everyone brought us a bottle. We had a full stock bar, and that is slowly depleting quickly. But
any liquor companies out there?
Yeah,
we're depleting.
Sponsorships. But so like I said, Danny and I have known each other for it's probably almost is it 5 or 6 years?
I think it's
2014. So almost 6 years.
Feels like a lifetime.
We met freshman year. We both graduated from SUNY New Paltz, upstate. For anyone that doesn't know, about an hour and a half north of the city, in the Hudson Valley.
Top 10 college right now, by the way.
Yeah, so that's legit, dude.
Yeah. And, according to Forbes.
Yeah, it's like the acceptance rate is like super small compared to other SUNY schools. Shout out New Paltz. We met actually rushing the same fraternity, Tau Kappa Epsilon, Teak. How you doing? Biggest fraternity in the world. What up? Actually, I don't even know if that's true anymore.
We're up there.
I remember.
A lot of chapters went sayonara. We'll just keep it at that.
Yeah, they did. I mean, that's like every fraternity
it's a sad
nowadays.
Truth.
Yeah, they're falling fast. We met at a rush party. I think it was like our first week of school.
Yeah. First couple of days.
Yeah, first couple of days. We both just ended up at the same party. I'll never forget when I met this dude. I walked out on the back deck. It was hot as a motherfucker in that party. It always was hot in that house. Walk out to get some air. My dude was just smoking a cigar, a fat Tony Soprano cigar in the back, leaning up against someone's car, not his. And I was like, damn. I didn't have any friends. I had one friend at that point, my friend Travis, who also played with us. What up, Travis? T Mills.
Wherever you are.
He moved out to Buffalo. I didn't have many friends, and I was like, I think that kid I'm gonna try to be boys with that guy. He looks cool, smoking a cigar. I like cigars. And then, yeah, I went up to him, we started shooting the shit, and I was like, yo, are you in? My brother had joined a fraternity in Oswego, was a few years older than me. So I was like, all right, I'll join a fraternity too, I guess. Like, I don't know what else the fuck to do, I'll do that. And I was like, yo, are you into this, like, fraternity idea? Are you down to rush or pledge? And I remember you were, like, mad and different, like, yeah.
Let's go.
Took a fat puff of the cigar there. I was like, all right. And then so we went to, like, almost every party together.
That was a fun rush.
Yeah, that was a good time. We went to...
I feel like we were just very confused. Like,
Yeah.
we were there. I always came through with a fat bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good amount of money on me at the time from high school.
You always black out at the end of it. Not even at the end of the middle of every party.
That's one of the reasons I joined. I just wanted a place to crash.
Yeah. And then we went to interviews. I don't know if anyone has ever joined a fraternity. I think every fraternity is a little different. I don't know if every fraternity does interviews and
They
shit.
do.
Do they?
Yeah. Our process is just different. Secret social.
Yeah, we went to interviews, and I remember we were mad nervous after interviews. I don't know if I ran into you or if I ran into...
We messaged each other on Facebook.
Yes, that's what happened.
If you join, I join.
Yeah. And we ended up we both got calls. And they were like offered us a bid, and we took them. We pledged 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, and it was. I mean, that's how we. I mean, people rag on fraternities and stuff, and I mean, deservedly so, I guess. But I mean, if it wasn't for Teak, I wouldn't have the handful of the friends I have today, like lifelong boys, and like
all of our boys right now.
Yeah, everyone down here in Queens, and even Keith upstate, a couple other boys upstate.
Long Island.
Yeah. I remember when we pledged, they were like, look to your left, look to your right. These boys are going to be at your wedding. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, this is mad corny. I mean, that's not 100% true, but for everyone. But I mean, there's
a lot of people.
A good handful of guys that I met there.
Good 20 guys.
Yeah. Probably 20.
Small wedding.
Yeah. So that's how we met, and then we were in the fraternity for all 4 years of school together. Danny was president, I was vice president, pledge master, and then we just got super close. Got arrested together.
Made a lot of mistakes and had a lot of great times. Definitely miss him, man. Listen, every time we go back, I reminisce a ton.
Yeah.
But now that we're in the professional world, it feels good. We come home late. We catch up about work. We watch a sick movie, a couple Sopranos episodes.
And that's kind of what like inspired us to do this. Is we get home, sit on the couch, eat dinner together, watch a movie, just shoot the shit about our day, and we're like, yo, let's record this shit. Like,
good stuff.
like why not? Like we have our interests are 100% aligned, and I feel like our mentalities are similar to a lot of. I hate using this term, but millennials and people that are of our generation.
Yeah.
If people
young hustlers.
Yeah, people want to listen, they'll listen. If not,
see you later.
Yeah, see you later. Bite the dust. Might need another drink.
For sure. So one of the things we're gonna definitely speak on this podcast over time is just like being a 20 to 30-year-old adult in New York City and the daily challenges and what we go through in terms of trying to grow. I mean, everybody can work a 9 to 5, but at the end of the day, who do you want to be after that 9 to 5? Yeah. Past 5 o'clock? Or are you just going to go home and fucking eat dinner and go to bed? Or do you want to be a boss? Like, personally, me and Ben, we know that we have the aspirations. We want to be very successful, which is another reason why we started this. We want to voice our opinions, network, meet a lot of new people. I'm sure a couple of you people listening right now feel the same way. You leave your job and you're like, okay, what's next? Are you going to go home? Or are you going to just try to be a better person, which is what we're trying to do?
Totally. Yeah, you're not, what I've come to learn, I mean, I've only been out of school for, is it 2 years?
Not even.
Year and a half?
2 years this May.
Yeah, you're not defined by your day job. You're not defined by like what you do to make money. I mean, you're defined by your interests and your ambitions. I mean, if you want to sink everything you do into your day job and that's your career and push forward, sure. But if not, there's a lot of people that have an entrepreneurial mindset, or they might not even be 100% about their career or anything like that. Just you're not defined.
To make money.
Yeah, you're not to
survive.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not defined by one set thing. You can always be pivoting and be growing and growing your interests, your skills, whatever it is. You're like, And what I've also come to learn, when I was like 15 or whatever, I was like, yo, by the time I'm like 23, 24, 25,
I'll be a millionaire.
yeah, it's gonna be set. And it's like, I'm like, damn, that's kind of corny to say, but like, yeah, I couldn't be more.
Bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
You learn that more every day.
Yeah, I feel like no one is ever done learning, and like the more I like talk to adults now that I work in like an office with people who are in their 30s and 40s, like no one's ever done learning.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see and like learn for the first time because. Like I said, when I was in like high school, I'm like, yo, that dude's 24. He's probably got it all together. not even close. Yeah. I guess just a little bit about ourselves, background other than how we met. Like I said, I was born and raised in New York, just not this New York. I was born upstate in the Saratoga Springs. And anyone knows the racetrack. It's a good time. Actually, that's not even true. I wasn't even born in Saratoga. I just say Saratoga because no one knows where, like, the town I'm actually from. It's so small. Ballston Spa, New York.
State Farm Insurance.
Oh yeah, that's like their base, right? Or whatever.
That's
their headquarters. Headquarters.
That's where I pay my bill.
I went to a super small high school. There was like 100 kids in my graduating class. And I knew. I mean, some people are like my older brother. I think he is going to stay there his entire life, and he loves it. And to each their own. Everyone has their own interest in what they want to do, but that just wasn't for me. I knew from probably like freshman, sophomore year of high school that I just didn't want to stay there. And like a lot of my family is born and raised there. A couple of my like uncles and aunts moved away, but for the most part, majority of my family is within like 20 minutes, half hour of each other. And so it was kind of weird, not weird, but like hard for my family when I just moved away because I was like the first like one of the I have two other brothers, there's three of us that left, and I feel like my family was like, oh, I don't know, like the big city, and I don't know, it's just something I always wanted to do. I knew, like I said, from like freshman year of sophomore year of high school that I wanted to move down here. So
now we're here.
Yeah, here we are. Which honestly I'm pretty pumped about. I couldn't be happier with my job that I got to move. I was able to move down here. The place we found, we have a pretty nice place. My girlfriend's from Staten Island, so I mean, all my like we were saying before, a lot of our friends are from Queens. Danny's born and raised in Queens, so it just made sense for me to come down here. I'm in marketing, media, like advertising. So I mean, what better place in New York to move to? Just to start my career. I wanted to move down here even sooner. I remember I was like applying to jobs like crazy when I graduated, and I just had it didn't make any sense because I just had no money coming out of school. How was I gonna afford a place? I had no savings, so my parents were like, be practical, like stay home. And I think they were telling me this because they just wanted me to stay home forever. And I think they like thought I was gonna get a job and just like settle down back home and just like forget
reel you back in upstate.
Exactly. And just like forget about the city. But I took a job at a marketing company up in Albany. I was there for a year and a month. Lived with my dad. Was able to just save up enough money to like make this move like feasible. And like I think after like right at my year mark at the job, I started like looking down here, and lo and behold, here we are.
Here we are.
Want to give a little bit about you?
Yeah, for sure. So I was born and raised in Queens, specifically Fresh Meadows and Forest Hills, for any of you people that know. From a Russian Jewish background, so we're a very tight-knit community. I consider myself to be a little different from the community just in terms of mindset and trying to chase different experiences. I feel like people in my community were very, just sticking to each other, not really leaving the circle. With me, I always had a very diverse friend group. Definitely wanted to meet new people, and which was one of the reasons why I left the city to go to college, even though it was only an hour and a half away. I was the first person in my family to leave for university, and first generation college student. Parents came here from a little shithole called Uzbekistan. Not much going on over there, but listen, we have the culture. Like I said, we're very tight-knit, very family-oriented. Happy to say I'm pretty close to my immediate family. And listen, we're very hardworking people. They're immigrants, so they came to this country with nothing, just chasing the American dream. Some people made it. Some people are just still stuck in, one-bedroom apartments, trying to find what they're actually made to do. But at the end of the day, everybody's working, and me, I've been working since I was like 12 years old in my grandparents' bagel shop on Lexington Avenue and 65th Street in Manhattan.
Oh, was it the city? I thought it was in Queens.
So it was a block away from Hunter College, and it was pretty successful. We were one of the best bagel spots on the block. Everybody came to us. They loved our bagels. When I started working there, I couldn't even see over the counter. And then eventually, on the weekends, I started to run the place, made good money, and then that's how I showed up to college with a couple dollars. And everything basically went from there. But I definitely say my entrepreneurial spirit comes from my grandparents, my parents. My mom and dad are definitely one of the hardest people in terms of working that I know. And I feel good. So I'm 23 years old. I'm in the real estate finance space. I work with a ton of investors and developers. For example, people that buy, fix, and flip houses. And also people that are landlords. So I provide loans for them for a private company. And it's very successful. It's a very cutthroat dog-eat-dog industry. But if you have the grind and you have the mentality, something I definitely recommend for somebody straight out of college, not really knowing what they want to do. I was in school as a business major, eventually changed to economics because I wanted to look at money from a different perspective. And when I graduated, I just happened to have met my boss.
There's the train. Here's the train. New York. It's New York. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get into this too. Damn, it's a long train tonight. There we go.
It's over, folks.
For now, you and I both have such parallels in our lives, like growing up and stuff. Like you were mentioning, like your parents are like super hardworking, and your grandparents own the bagel joint, and then you didn't even mention this. Your dad had a restaurant, a Mediterranean in
Forest Hills.
Forest Hills, right?
Yeah.
My dad and my mom and my dad actually both met. They're both chefs. My mom is from England. They met when my dad went over there.
Good chefs too, if they're listening.
They are. My dad actually went over to England for like an internship, I believe. Dad, I'm butchering this. My bad. I think it was for an internship at a country club or something. My mom happened to work there, and they met. And then my mom I think my dad was there for maybe a year or maybe even less. Again, dad from butchering it, my bad. And then my mom just flew back with him because they were dating for a little while, I think, and they ended up getting married. I mean, they've since divorced, but
same here.
Yeah. So I'll get into the parallels. So both Danny and my parents owned restaurants. And then both our parents are divorced. We're both kids of divorce from parents owning restaurants. Hang with me, I'm getting there. There's more than this. Our parents got divorced for the same reason. I don't know if we want to get into that on this.
We'll skip on it.
Another time. And then, so both our parents are divorced, and our dads my dad, your mom, both had recently baby girls.
Yeah. Couple months apart.
Yeah, with our step parents, and they're 2 months apart.
2-3 months. Yeah.
It's crazy. So I mean, I think that's just how we're so close, and why we're as good boys as we are is because we've had so many like similar circumstances in our life that are beyond our control.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays a lot of people are children of divorce, but it still fucking sucks. Like it still blows.
Yeah, it's different.
But the restaurant industry is another cutthroat business, especially if you're if you're the chef on the line, that shit sucks. But if you're also the restaurant, if you're the owner, man, it's
not easy.
It's a whole other ballgame. It's tough. And I remember when I was little, I would always like go in on like Sunday mornings, and my mom was like the head chef there, and she would they did breakfast at their old restaurant, and I would go in on like a Sunday morning.
Every day?
Oh yeah, every day I think. I was young, I can't remember. But I would go in on like a Sunday morning, my brother and I, and we would, my mom would be cooking, and we were the toast guys. We'd make toast. We were like 12, 13, 14 years old. Definitely younger. My mom would call us the toast bitches. And I remember like growing, like that's how I know how to cook a little bit. Cause my dad went to the Culinary Institute of America. I would hope I would know how to cook a little bit.
You alright?
And I remember I was like seeing all this. I loved just watching my parents cook, and I wanted to be like a chef or whatever. I wanted to own my own restaurant. I told my parents that, and they were like, "You don't want to do this." Yeah. They talked me out of it so fast, yeah. And I mean, it's
I remember
it's
that
tough,
conversation.
It's a tough business. But yeah.
Yeah, at one point I wanted to be a car salesman. My dad was like, "Yo, you're shot."
A car salesman? You never told me that.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what are we trying to get into here the first episode?
So, I mean, we could definitely talk about what motivates us, if we haven't already, but definitely, like we said, our backgrounds. We both come from hardworking families. And we actually just watch a lot of movies of like people on the come up and making it. And we're always like, damn, like what's it gonna take for us to go there? Mm-hmm. I feel like at least once a week, even if it's a movie about robbing banks, we're like shit.
Yeah, that's not it. We both just love movies, and that's when I met Danny at the fraternity party. I think we just like I don't even know. I probably asked you something stupid like, "Yo, what's your favorite movie, bro?" And Godfather. Like we both have like the same like favorite like top 10 movies. Like if I were to list mine, you were to list yours. 7 of them would probably overlap.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have like very similar interests in that category. But yeah, we were about to watch The Town the other night because of bank robbing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like to watch. I think we just like to be inspired by people that are ambitious and stuff. I mean, one of our favorite movies is probably The Wolf of Wall Street. We have a freaking you can't even see it on the camera, but we have a poster over right there.
Jordan Belfort. His office was 10 minutes away from mine right now.
Right in Great Neck
and Lake Success.
What's that? Lake Success.
It's like a very wealthy area of Nassau County. So
sounds successful.
Gold Coast.
Sounds successful. Yeah, I mean, we talk about Wolf of Wall Street, Martin Scorsese. So we talk about The Irishman.
Yeah, definitely a movie I'm hyped to see for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
comes out on Wednesday night.
Does it?
Yeah.
On Netflix. On Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll watch that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Scorsese is probably my favorite
director.
Him or Tarantino, but yeah.
I love Tarantino, but the fact that I can watch one of his movies multiple times and stay confused, I'll stick to Scorsese a couple times.
Yeah.
He's just so good, and I always love how he starts a movie in the future, and then always rewinds it. Mm-hmm. Like in Goodfellas, they're stabbing the guy in the trunk, and then he drops it.
Yeah.
I always want to be a gangster, and then it starts from the top. And then same thing with Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
What else? That happens in a couple of his movies. I think
he might do it. Does he do it in Casino too? I think he does it in Casino.
Does he?
It's not. I don't think it's like.
Yeah, he walks into the car and.
Yes, and yeah,
bomb,
he walks into the car, it blows up, and that's what starts the opening credits, right?
He was like, nothing like Vegas.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I mean, you were talking about like what motivates us. I feel like we've already I feel like we touched on that. Like just
being successful.
Yeah, and I feel like what I've come to learn in the past year or so out of school is like there's never like a final like level. You're never like, yo, I made it. Like I did this. It's you just got to keep going. Like there's no. I was actually listening to a podcast. Believe it or not, I think it was Brennan Schaub. I don't even know if you know who that is. He was ex UFC fighter.
Oh, okay.
He's on Joe Rogan's podcast a lot.
They're boys.
Yeah, they are. They are boys. But it wasn't on Rogan's podcast. It was, believe it or not, it was Brendan Schaub on Mike Studd's podcast.
Mike Studd has a podcast.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I think it's called You Never Know. You know what I mean? Like I said, we watched a lot of podcasts, guys. That's kind of how we got, the idea to start doing this ourselves. But he was saying that, like, you never reach the top of the mountain. The top of the mountain doesn't exist.
Right. There is no top.
Yeah. I mean, you have a goal. You set it for yourself. And then you achieve it. And then you're like, oh, am I done?
What's next?
You're never done. You're never done until you die. That's exactly what he said. He's like, you never. The top of the mountain is when you fall off and you die. Like, there is no. You just keep climbing it. like perfect example is the longest time I wanted to get a job in advertising in the city, and move down here and with you, and I mean,
it happened.
It happened, and that's honestly what kind of made me start thinking about, what can I do in my spare time now that I have a job and that I live in the city? Like, what else can I do? 'Cause I don't want to say I wasn't feeling fulfilled, because I did accomplish the goals that I set for myself, but I just didn't know, like, what's next. All right, like, I work for a cool, good company, and I know there's, like, room for me to grow and, like, get to the next level and get promoted, and because my company promotes internally a lot, and so I'm 100% committed to that. But, like, what else am I doing in my spare time that could, like, make me better or help me feel some kind of drive, or like what?
Your side hustle.
Yeah, for a long time, not a long time, but like a month or so of me working in the city, I was just working at the office, coming home, eating dinner, shooting the shit with you, and going to bed. And I was like, is this life? Like, Yeah, so I had like, now I'm in that transition period of like setting the next goal for myself. And I'm like, what is that? And I, to be honest, I don't quite know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want to.
I feel like that's what a lot of people just our age, once you finish college, and let's say your college experience was on an extraordinary level, like you met a lot of people. If you're a guy, you met a lot of girls, and opposite way around. And then when you get to the city or back home, you're like, damn, like, is this really it? Like, there's no, like, in college, you can go out every single day of the week, and every single night could be different. And then when you're in Manhattan or New York City, you come home from work, and going out maybe isn't what you want to do all the time.
Right.
And so you sit at home, you eat dinner, you watch TV, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing over here?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's definitely another reason why we started this, just to put our minds to something else. So
yeah,
you got to keep
exactly.
your mind
moving.
times.
Yeah, you got to stay sharp between the years.
It's like that conversation I had with your grandpa at lunch. Remember when we all went? And even he said, he was like, listen, I can't sit at home. Like, I need to do something.
Yeah, I mean, my grandpa's 70. No, he just turned 76. When we went to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And he turned 76, and he retired from his his job like 10 years ago, I think, more. If he's 76, right? How old he got to be retired?
65.
It all depends, right?
65.
Yeah. So he had like a pension, or he was set up, like he was fine, but he wanted to do more. He was bored. He just, I mean, I think that might be also where I get it from. I'm just wanting to continue to do more and grow. It's my grandpa's a G. My grandpa's just like a man's man.
Yeah. My grandpas are the same thing. One of mine, after he gave up the bagel business, now he drives Via all over Manhattan.
Via.
It's kind of like, it's similar to Uber and Lyft.
Oh.
But they actually pay drivers way more, so it makes more sense for somebody his age, because he's not trying to do Uber all day and like.
Right.
He's trying to get a big check, basically.
I've never heard of that. Via.
VIA, yeah. And my other grandpa, he was a dentist back in the Soviet Union. So when he came here, he worked a little bit just hustling on like 47th Street, the jewelry district, Diamond District, and a couple other businesses here and there. And eventually when he stopped working, he gained a ton of weight. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to join the gym. Now he goes twice a day to the gym. And he lost like...
How old is he?
He's in the 70s.
And he goes to the gym
twice a day.
Twice a day.
Yeah.
Jeez. Is it your mom's dad or dad?
My mom's dad, yeah. And I actually saw him the other night for dinner, and he told me, he's like, listen, man, you could make so much money, but your health is most important. Mm-hmm. He was like, trust me, I know a lot of rich people. I guess that's kind of why we work out sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's another thing today, like people our age, and honestly, dude, I feel like, to be honest, we're like guilty of it, just wanting to get rich quick, and
it's hard not to.
It's hard not to have that mentality when like you see it on Instagram, you see it
social media.
Like even like what we were saying, we watch movies of people on the come up, and like it's a 2-hour movie. And we're like, yo, they did that shit in 2 hours. Like no. But yeah, it's just like that mentality of the 21 to 30-year-old dude our age, like people our age, just think they can I don't know, they feel like they're entitled, or like they like the world or the universe owes them something, and it's like it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
It's like it's a slow burn.
I mean, listen, people get lucky; they get rich quick. Some people.
I mean, no doubt, it happens. But I feel like people.
I know
people exactly, and people see that. They see it happen to those select lucky few, and I shouldn't say lucky. People work hard, and they're like, oh, like what the fuck, like why is that not me?
Yeah.
And it's like. Whether they were lucky or not, they had to put in some work unless they won the freaking lottery. Like they put in work somewhere or another. And people like you just gotta keep.
That's also one thing. Like a lot of people are on social media all the time. You know, they see people with a nice car, the nice watch, but people always forget that they post that in the best of times. Like you don't see a lot of people. For example, if you're doing e-commerce or you're selling stuff online, you're not gonna have a picture of yourself like, oh, just made this sale, you know, because that's when you're in grind mode.
Right.
Similar when I had the vape company, like maybe when I had like an amazing shipment to make, I was sending out maybe 7-8 vapes at a time. Then I was like, oh shit, like here's Snap, IG.
Yeah, people don't see the stuff you don't post.
Right.
Exactly. You know?
They don't see the struggle.
Yeah.
No, because nobody wants to post that. Nobody wants to show other people like, yeah, I'm fucking blood, sweat, and tears into this project. Will I get rich? Probably not.
Yeah.
But
It's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty famous picture now of Jeff Bezos when he's sitting in his like shitty ass garage or some shitty office and
shitty hairpiece.
Yeah. He like he looked like shit, and now
he has that poster with the Amazon.com.
And now he's a billionaire, and he ditched the hairpiece and buzzed his head. He doesn't give a fuck. He's rich as fuck.
There's actually a sick video of him in a Prius, and whether it was a Prius or a Honda, whatever, he's driving. And there's a journalist next to him or a news reporter. Like, oh, Jeff Bezos, like, by this time, you know, you're worth this and so hundreds of millions. Why are you still driving a fucking, like, beat-up Honda or Prius, whatever? And he was like, it's a nice car. It takes me from place A to place B.
How old is Amazon? Like, when did Amazon start? Do you know? I'm not sure.
I think, like, late 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the
.com boom.
.com boom, yeah.
And no one knew what the hell it was, or no one people.
It was made just to sell books, and then he's like,
yeah, I forgot all about that.
Why am I just selling books when I can sell everything? And he learned how to monetize the site.
But that goes to show like everyone like knows who Jeff Bezos is now. No one knew who the hell he was. Even like 6 years ago, I feel like no one. Amazon was still a relatively big thing, not like it is today.
Yeah.
But I'll even go like
he became a household name.
I think within the past 3 years, would you say like people?
I think a little more.
Really?
I'd say like the past 10 years.
I mean, he was definitely a cajillionaire at that point, but I feel like people didn't know the name is. Maybe you're right. He blew up a lot when he got that divorce or whatever, when he cheated on his wife.
Well, that was recent.
Was that this past year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even know if he cheated on his wife. My bad on that. Did he?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah. But yeah, it just goes to show like you got to put in sometimes a decade worth of work until you see it resonate into something legitimate that people then become jealous of, and they were like, how did he get there? And it's like, well, you put in a shit ton of work behind the scenes that you have no idea about.
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with Elon Musk. You know, a lot of people don't know that he started PayPal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he started PayPal with a partner, and they eventually sold it, and then through that, he used that money to start all these different projects. And now he's like the owner of Solar City, Tesla. He has a company called The Boring Company where he just...
They sell hats, right? Don't they sell hats?
They sell like different stuff. He made a fucking flamethrower.
Right. It's just like, yeah.
He does that to gain more money for his other companies.
Mm-hmm. That's smart. It's like media. It's just like branding and like that's smart. Then what's the thing he's doing? When he's doing something in LA of like the underground like,
SpaceX.
No,
oh, you're thinking of the.
I'm thinking he's just like
the Hyperloop.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
it's like a subway system, like a crazy subway system.
Yeah,
right.
He's eventually trying to do one that you can go from New York to LA in 45 minutes.
Is it like a train or it's your car and it shoots your car down?
No, so it's basically like a train that works in if I'm not mistaken, like a vacuum system. So basically, it pulls the entire platform from one place to another.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he actually he had, I think he paid like what's it called? Like science majors from top graduate schools or universities to bring him like the best concept. And then they all showed up to LA. It? Yeah, and then well, obviously he has a ton of investors too.
Sure.
But they all pulled up to LA, like showed him the best one, and he eventually chose, I think. Oh. But I know it's like a real thing.
Did you see the truck? The truck he made?
Or I was dying when someone posted a video like, that truck you always drew in your fucking notebook.
Yeah.
It's like...
That's mad funny. I mean, it looks like someone made it in their shed. Yeah. Like, like some shitty mechanic.
Yeah.
Did you see when they...
But that's like his thing. Like, he's gonna come...
simplicity.
It's not even that. Like, he comes at everybody with stuff you wouldn't expect. Like, I think Ford made a tweet where they were coming out with an all-electric Mustang, and then he came out with the Cybertruck, which is all-electric pickup truck. So he's coming out, like, at big companies like GMC, Ford, and what else? Chevrolet. So, I mean, he's trying to take over the market. He's doing the right thing. He's definitely a smart guy.
Yeah. He's smart and, like, obviously, like, very, very, like, he's creative, but he's, like, also just, like, an interesting dude. Yeah. Like,
he's mysterious.
Yeah, that's it. He's mysterious.
He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was
sparked a blunt.
It's not even that. He said that we're all living in the simulation.
What?
So he thinks, like, that everything is already predetermined, and that basically, like, you and I are being controlled by some motherfuckers
so he's
outside the universe.
He's a little bit of a nut then, huh? I mean, honestly, like, that's a lot of people that are like that, like, that are successful like that, have a screw loose, one or two screws, you know?
I mean, you never know.
I mean, you kind of have to be able to. Fucking
he's thinking outside the box.
Steve Jobs, think different. You know, you have to be an outlier to change the world, I guess. That's, I mean, you have to have a screw or two loose to be able to think and develop things like that, and not give a shit about.
I think it's more just a confidence thing. He's just telling everybody what's on his mind,
and you have to not care.
Yeah,
that's like one of the best traits you can have, is literally not give a shit what anyone thinks, and that's something I struggle with a lot. I'm like, it's tough to put yourself out there.
You have to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people always tell me, oh, you should read that book, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I think it's called. Yeah. So many people told me to read that. I should probably get on that.
Yeah, we probably should. But I mean, like,
maybe we can review that book on podcast.
But you also have to, like, allow yourself to get there. You can read a book all you want, but you have to, like, it's like a mental block. Like, you have to, like, break down, like, a mental barrier in your head. You have to break down of, like, I don't care. But that is, like, so much easier said than done, to, like, literally not give a fuck what anyone thinks. But that's what all those...
It's kind of like that scene in The Joker when he's on the stairs dancing. That's when he cracked.
That's when he's
like,
that's
when
he
it. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
I mean, he did it for the not the good. He did it for the bad. But yeah, for sure. Everyone needs that Joker moment, I guess, in their lives of just snapping. That's what they used to say in pledging. You just gotta snap. Gotta become a robot. And I guess we don't. That wasn't true. You don't want to be a robot.
Yeah.
You want to think for yourself. But yeah. That's one thing I really want to try to get better at. Even honestly, doing this is nerve-wracking to me. Like, putting stuff out, putting yourself out there. Like, you and I both wanted to, like, start business before you've done something before with the vapes.
Kaz Vapes.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Do you have any? It's like the website still. You probably took all that stuff down.
No,
right?
It's actually funny now. If you type in the website, it just takes you to some Chinese website. Not so happy about it, but
it was a Spotify site. Someone just bought the domain.
Not Spotify, like GoDaddy.
It's not Spotify, Shopify.
Yeah, no, well, it was GoDaddy. But I eventually obviously stopped paying for the domain, so they probably sold it to somebody.
Oh yeah.
But listen, it was a good thing while it lasted.
Yeah, it's a learning experience. But that again, dude.
I love that shit, bro.
Yeah,
I had such a good time with that.
I mean, so many people, like successful people, fail a million times before. I saw something. Actually, someone post on Instagram. I don't know who it was. Honestly, it might have been Joe Rogan. Shout out Joe Rogan. What up? Like, they're saying failure is actually like proven to be like, what the hell was it? I gotta look up.
You have to fail to succeed.
Yeah, and it, like, obviously people have been saying that for years, decades, centuries. But like, it was like proven recently, or like, I don't even know how the hell they proved it, but
I think it's because like every time you fail, your mind gets tweaked up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like basically every failure is a lesson, but every lesson is a failure, I guess too.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. What can I do in the future to get better at it? And that's just everything you do. You know what I mean?
That's everything in life. The more you do something, the better you get at it. So
for sure.
The more you fail, the better you get at failing. So eventually, you're just not gonna fucking fail.
Straight up, bro.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I kind of want to get another drink, but I don't want to get up and make too much noise with this mic.
Yeah. Today, you know, we're drinking a little Captain and Coke. Specifically Diet Coke.
Only Diet Pepsis for bed. That's all I drink is Diet Pepsi. I used to drink Diet Coke until I bought Pepsi stock. No more Coke. That's gonna be disgusting. Yeah, I've been drinking Captain since I was like 17. That's like probably, I mean, you know me for a while. That's my go-to probably, because when I was 17, 16, my brother was 2 years older than me. So he was
buying the booze.
He was buying the booze, and that was his go-to. And so when I came to college, I didn't know anything else. Like, what do you like? Go to the bar. Like, what do you drink? And I'm like, literally the only alcohol I knew. I was like, oh, got any Captain? Like, yeah.
It's so weird. Like with me, my dad, we had a bar at home. It was like a very nice custom-made bar, and he would only have very, very nice bottles around. Mm-hmm. So when I like came to the point where I was drinking pretty often, probably around freshman year, I only knew what nice liquor was, and I looked around me and I'm like, every single party I went to, I had the nicest bottle around. Mm-hmm. And then through college, it literally went downhill. I went from drinking Class A shit to bottom of the barrel, well liquor.
I remember.
Well, that's when like you spend all your money. Like,
right.
I gotta buy the cheap shit.
I remember Big Brother night when we were pledging. Actually, no,
Evan Williams.
You didn't even get it. Omar bought it.
Yeah.
Your big bro bought it. He got him Evan Williams because he's a cheap bastard. What up, Omar?
We know you're listening.
and dude, you got shit house. That was like the drunk. I mean, I've seen you more drunk since then, probably because I've known you for so long. But we were like worried about you. That was a doozy of a night.
Not a prime day in my life, but we all have those moments.
Yeah.
So next topic.
Yeah, what should we hop into here? I feel like we've touched on a decent amount of things we wanted to jump on. We didn't really. When we talked about a lot of, I guess indirectly people that have inspired us as far as like Jeff Bezos and Musk and stuff. But
basically our idols.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I feel like those aren't your idols. I feel like you look up, like they both are inspirational, but I feel like they're not.
Yeah, they're indirect idols.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'd say outside of my parents, I definitely look up to just people successful in finance for sure. Definitely my boss at the time, my current boss, very successful guy, completely self-made. And definitely one of the most motivated people I've ever met in my life. Yeah, I can't even describe it. It's crazy. Just going to work every day. He has this fire, and it just makes me want to hustle too.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a great experience.
Yeah.
I feel like we both like need to be around those people, you know. Mm-hmm. If you're not around somebody with the fire, then you're just gonna live life on the same pedestal.
Yeah, I feel like when you have the mentality, like you just naturally gravitate towards people, or maybe and also just are inspired by people that you want to be like, you know. I know all the boys gonna hate on me for this one, but Conor McGregor's my boy. Fred, obviously,
doing fucking well.
None of you guys know, but I'm a huge UFC fan, huge Conor McGregor fan. I know all the boys are gonna roast me for going in on this right now, but yeah, he's a big idol of mine. I would say, just because. I mean, a lot of people hate Conor McGregor nowadays. Yeah. Because he
got so successful.
People hate success. That's 1,000,000% a fact.
Yeah.
But like back in the day, he was nothing, and
everyone loved his fucking fashion line.
Yeah.
August McGregor.
But I think that's 100% true, dude. People hate on success. People love the come up, and people love to like when someone is nothing and they're like on the rise of becoming something. Everyone loves that story. Everyone loves an underdog, or everyone loves someone that's going for something. But as soon as they like
Reach a specific point.
hit a certain level, the hate starts to come in, and I don't know if it's a jealousy thing or an envy thing or what it is.
Probably a mix of hate, jealousy, and envy.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Connor's done a lot of shit to like make people hate him. He's fucked up a bunch, but I think that applies. I mean, not just fucking Conor McGregor, but a lot of people, anyone that's like really successful, people just like, I don't know.
But these days you have to have balls to do it. That's why.
Yeah.
Like so,
you have to have
a lot of people angry.
You have to have that mentality to you don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like you have to not care.
Back to that.
Yeah, and that's a underlying factor in a lot of in success. Period is not caring, and just putting your fucking nose down and just
tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision. Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. It's freaking not the best. No ice. Splash of Pepsi. My mom is also a huge, like you said, your parents, a huge inspiration to me, dude. She's like the hardest working person that I've ever met, dude. 100%. Like, my parents split up, and like she had a hard time. She wouldn't have a hard time putting the bills together, but she was working like 2 jobs. She was working like she was a chef, the head chef at I think it was Russell Sage College or some school up near me. And then she was also working at like a cashier. Just when my parents first split, she was a cashier. Did the chef thing. I remember every Thanksgiving for a couple of years and Christmas, she made cranked out mad pies. She took like orders of like apple pies and stuff. My mom makes delicious pies. I'll have to have her bless us with one for when I come home from Thanksgiving. She
put apple on the menu.
Apple crumb is my favorite that she makes, but I would come home from school and they were like the one year she broke the oven because she was cooking so many pies for all these people that ordered pies. She make it's like a side hustle to make a little extra dough around the holidays.
$2,
yeah. It was like she made like 200 pies one Thanksgiving for just random, for whoever, like family, friends, people at work that she knew, people to order pies from her just because she makes a fire ass pie.
Yeah.
And she was just, so she almost had like 3 jobs at one point of the year. She's a hustler.
That's funny you mentioned that. I remember a couple nights ago when we were waiting for everybody to come for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I had you have a taste of what my grandma makes.
Yeah. Delicious.
So there's people in like the Russian Jewish community where it's mostly like the older women, since they know how to cook so well. People call them and place orders like, hey, I'll take like a tray of this, a tray of that, and it's all like authentic Russian food. And it's somebody just in an apartment in Forest Hills just cranking it, bro. Like cases of that rice, the green rice.
Oh my god. Dude, that was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good. We need some more.
Yeah. And that's just their side hustle, they do that for a few extra dollars.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah, I gotta get invited over your grandma's one of these nights.
I know. Yeah, they wanted.
Dude, that was so good. Yeah. How long do you think we've been going for? What time do we start?
I don't know.
Getting a little late. 10.
Cut it loose.
Yeah, we'll cut it loose. So we're gonna do these once a week. We're gonna film on a night we get probably Mondays. Record on a Monday when we get back from work after we eat dinner.
Upload Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna shoot for. We're gonna edit the day in between on a Tuesday, and then we're just gonna try to do one a week and kind of crank them out. And if it sticks, we get some traction. That's awesome. We appreciate the love. We're gonna go from there. New York State of Mind. You find us on Instagram, SoundCloud. We're gonna be on Apple and Spotify as well. YouTube, yeah. Find us on our YouTube channel, New York State of Mind, NY State of Mind.
Love.
Yeah, I think Apple takes a little while to like get approved or whatever, but definitely check us out on our Instagram and.
I'll call the Connect at Apple.
Yeah, we'll call Steve Jobs from the grave. Yeah, but YouTube and Instagram are up and live. So yeah, we'll edit this together the next day or two and get it out there. Appreciate y'all listening. Salud. Cheers
to the first episode.
Cheers.
Thank you for everybody listening. Lots of love, lots of health, and show us some support. Spread the word around. Definitely a lot of good ideas flowing through us, and hopefully many more. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Anyone that lives in Astoria, Queens, that would like to hop on,
Hit us up.
yeah, DM us. We're local. We're not always home. We actually work all the goddamn time.
We're never home.
Yeah, we're never home actually. But DM us. We'll figure something out if you want to hop on. Appreciate it. Deuces, guys. Deuces.